Hi, welcome to the first session of What I Know. Um, Here's what I know about being happy. Being happy is certainly almost everyone's goal, it is everyone's pursuit, but there is fundamentally something that's important to happiness or important to a person's happiness that I believe we do not know. We don't consciously seek out for it, we don't consciously explore it, we don't consciously leverage it to become happy. Now, let's talk a bit about what happiness really is. Uh, you know what happiness feels like, right? But happiness is fleeting. That means you have always experienced it in some moments. You can look back and think to a time when you were happy. Uh, you always reminisce it in the past, and but looking forward in time, I think we think, okay, we have to be happy, right? So happiness is also something that in the present you may not have, or we as human beings don't often experience or are conscious about. So that's missing. I think that's something that we need to get to, that, so as to whenever we are in the moment, or in or we are present in the moment, it would be really nice if we can just take a moment and realize that things are good, right? Things are okay. Physically, I'm okay. I have food on the table. I have roof. I'm okay. And that's probably the most basic level of happiness, right? And that everyone deserves, and everyone should have. The height of happiness could probably be feeling. It's the feeling that it's a it's probably the feeling similar to when, say, you first you see your niece or nephew after a long time, right? You see a baby after a long time. You hold them, you pick them up. uh, to me, that's more or less the height of happiness, because you know that feeling is just so different, isn't it? Like, just it could be the fact that it could also be the fact that you noticed a 2000 rupee note and you picked it up. So in that moment, that happiness or the acceptance you have for something is just so immense that it brings you a lot of joy, right? According to me, that's the height of happiness. But what is that? Why don't we have it in every moment, right? Like, why is it a pursuit always? I do not think happiness is a pursuit. Uh, Happiness. I think happiness is also uh, uh, overblown, and it's overhyped. Happiness is the basic feeling of joy. I just mentioned, the basic happiness and the height. Uh, I realize that there is actually not much gap. It's essentially the same. So how can we ensure that the basic of happiness is there, or in our life we can ensure the basic of happiness is there? Now, that's when we talk about the fundamentals, and the uh, uh, fundamentals could be uh, scary. It, it could be difficult to comprehend, but those are the facts that we live in, fact of the world or the reality that we live in. One, according to me, one of those absolute key fundamentals to happiness, and for that matter, a lot of other things in life, is getting to know yourself. Now, nobody teaches us that. Often our parents are not taught to impart that wisdom or skill. The school definitely doesn't teach us. And soon enough, we are 18 and we are ready to go out in the world, and we never end up really learning or truly understanding who we are and how we function. I think by who we are, I mean, just knowing oneself, and that again has many, many facets. uh, one of the again fundamental of the fundamentals facet of uh, knowing yourself is coming to terms with who you are, or just discovering who you are, what is important to you, what is not important to you. I think I missed a step. Uh, there is another facet much more fundamental, and that is knowing how you function. Uh, I know it sounds very abstract, but if I can summarize it into some words, then it would be basically knowing how you think, how you react in situations, what can turn you on and what can turn you off, what you like, what you don't like, and the why of it. All those things probably come together and form uh, one's ability of knowing oneself. So that is one facet. I think the next facet is then leveraging you knowing yourself. The next facet or the next step would be to basically trying to be in control of that, trying to be in some degree of control of that. And that is very essential, because that would define our state of mind on any given time. Now, uh, now how might we go about figuring that out? These two facets, these two fundamental facets of uh, something that affects happiness a lot. Getting to know yourself, getting to know oneself is very, very important. Uh, Understanding how you work is one. Then leveraging it to uh, basically, in a way, controlling how you feel on a day-to-day basis, on a moment-to-moment basis, is the next step. So we'll keep this second part aside, and we'll start with the absolute basic, right? Like, let's call this part 1 of 10 or 100, I don't know. Getting to know yourself is very, very critical. Some people are lucky with this. Some people are lucky in the sense that maybe they are born with it. Some people uh, learn this from their family, from their surroundings, and for some others it just happens. But the majority of people today, I believe, do not know how they function. So I can't speak for others. I can't generalize, what one can do. However, I would really like to share what worked for me. I believe I know myself really well. Again, I don't know myself fully well yet, but I know myself to a far higher degree than I did probably 5 years ago or 10 years ago. I'm a changed human being as compared to what I was 5 or 10 years ago. And that happened due to a few key things or a few key moments in my life that I hope that if I share, maybe you would able to replicate that or create scenarios where you can have similar experiences for yourself. Now, one of the first things, it didn't happen to me. It happened. I was that way, and that was just being introspective. I was a shy kid. I had a great childhood friend, a very, very good friend who's not here anymore. But f- for some reason, I developed a sense of introspection. By that I mean, I used to think about myself a lot, or I used to think somewhat a lot. Not throughout my childhood. I think by the time I was, I think till the age of, I would say 12 or 14, I was like, I had no idea where I was going. All the way till I was 16, to be honest, I had no idea where I was going in life. But uh, there was an increasingly more uh, uh, introspection that was happening. Second was, so this was already there with me. Probably, I believe it helped. The second point is having an open heart. Now, what does that mean? Again, that would also it will be a degree of increased openness that one would develop. But again, just coming to terms with the fact that okay, I want to have an open heart really helps. I think back then, I would think back to my times of 11th and 12th grade. I would be 15, I would be 16 actually back then. Um, so there was a sense of wanting more, as in trying to know more, because and I was coming from an angle of, or from an operating position of, I do not know, or I might not know, and that I could learn more. So this sentiment has, or this thought process has stayed with me even today. I definitely do not know everything for certain, and that really helps. I think that is inherently a very advantageous position. So there's these two things, but then there has to be some things that you have to create for yourself, right? And now things start changing into a realm where you have to probably go out and get this, or go out and figure this out. And that so apart from these two uh, these two things that you have to look out for yourself, there is another piece, which is what how would you feel if I had told you that there are skills, or just getting to know yourself is a skill that you can pick up, that till today nobody has taught it, but at the end of the day it's just a skill. It's just like, I would say, drawing, or even trying to learn how to drive a car. You can learn it, and you have to only do it once, and it becomes autopilot after that. So there are a lot of means and ways to do it. And this is the third and the biggest contributor of getting to know yourself. This can be done in, or I have done this in two ways. I have taken both the paths. I would recommend taking both the paths, one after the other, or the both together. I would just recommend that. But at any given point, any one would also help to a lot degree. And the two paths that I'll talk about are as contrasting as things could be. One is science, very scientific and directed. The other is blue sky. I would not call it anything else. It's just blue sky. There is, as human beings, we do not know everything. If you know what I mean. We are a speck of dirt in this universe, and we have only been here for so long. And human beings have been here for absolutely only so long. In the bigger scheme of things, our collective history doesn't go that far that we can say for certain that things are this way. Or the best that we can do and we are doing is saying that the earth is round and that there is a universe that's out there. But we still do not know how this human being functions, right? How the mind functions. If you go into biology, you talk to doctors, you talk to psychiatrists, they can clearly show you where the boundary of medical science lies today. So that's there. Now, what are those two paths, right? One path is therapy, and by that I mean, I think it's called psychotherapy, but it's basically mental health therapy, seeking a psychotherapist who can sit with you, talk to you. They won't give you a medicine of any kind. They won't. It is these two paths. They do not function like how we go about fixing our health. We take a medicine, we feel better. The world doesn't function that way. Anything long lasting wouldn't function that way. We have to come to terms with that understanding, and have that understanding, and then dive into these two things. One is mental health one is therapy, the other one is um, spirituality, I would say. And I'll talk more about the spirituality. Again, there's many ways to go about doing that, but let's talk about mental health first. A therapist is should be a very important person in your life, because you they are trained to listen to you, they are trained to investigate along with you, and they are trained to show you a mirror where Jai Chand, Ma Jai Chand. They are trained to show you a mirror of how you are thinking that you consciously may not know. And of course, we do not, I mean, you can any day refer to the book by Daniel Kahneman, who's a Nobel Prize winning behavioral economist. He, I think he puts a percentage number as to how much of our brain is subconscious versus conscious. That should, and the subconscious brain is, the conscious brain is insignificant scientifically. So knowing that, I think it should put us in a very humbling and modest position to come from a position or think from a position that, hey, maybe I do not know all these things and I should give this a try, if you really want to discover yourself, and I believe you should. So mental health is one way where you sit with a therapist and you work with them to know yourself. And at the end of a couple of sessions, you can look back and say that I know so much about me. Uh, and again, it's just not about knowing, right? It's not like reading a few books that you know. As soon as you know how you function, you would start noticing how you function, and you can take better actions or make better choices once you know that. So mental health or therapy is very critical. It has helped me personally. Even till today, I have a therapist whom I can go to. Uh, so that's there. Now let's talk about spirituality. Now I said the therapy and spiritual, I do both, or I have both. I have pursued both, may not be simultaneously, but uh, synchronously I know for sure that these two will help you. I wouldn't recommend what you start with, but if you are in a state where you have been thinking about getting to know yourself a lot and you feel like you have an urgent need, I would say start with mental health first, because relatively the results will start coming in soon. Uh, but again, the results for mental health is, again, it it's likely to be long lasting, but we do not know that. I've seen remissions, I've seen it only prepares us for one kind of channel or path, whereas spirituality prepares us for everything. Now, what is spirituality? Again, uh, there are many spiritual leaders, there are yogis, babas, and people of all kinds. And I have, I have tried to learn about many actually. I've tried to get a very diverse idea of how all the Indian gurus or spiritual leaders were. They are they all operate on philosophically different ideas. So, but at the end of the day, fundamentally, what they teach you, it's all the same. All of these gurus are trying to teach us how we function, and again, my knowledge of this comes from there. And I experientially realize that the sense of getting to know yourself is important. But as you can see, this wisdom has been around since, I think, millennia. um, and these people had these wisdom. So although their philosophies, because again they are human beings, they are not gods, their way of style of teaching or imparting this wisdom is different, philosophy will be different, but at the end of the day it is the same. So it doesn't matter which guru you go to, the first lesson of their spiritual teaching or learning or yoga, whatever you call it, the first lesson is basically getting to know yourself well. And they have beautiful programs. Many have very good fundamental programs. where you can go in, spend a couple of days, and actually come out knowing a lot. The onus of practicing those will always be on you, and that's where the buck stops. But at the same time, I didn't go to a program, come out a changed person, to be honest. In fact, I went to a program in an ashram in southern India in 2016, but big changes in my life happened beginning 2018, and that's since 2018 is when I think tangibly I can connect the dots and say that because I visited that program and learned all those things, do I know how to exercise those things. So practicing, you can practice those anytime and get and basically pick up from where you left. So these two things are absolutely critical. So there are tools available in the world which can teach us how we function, or who we are, how we function. And if you keep on pursuing these two tracks, more so the spirituality track, it graduates from a level of getting to know yourself to getting a grip on yourself and being in control of how you feel on a day-to-day basis. After all this, how does this tie back to happiness? It's very simple, actually. It's something that they teach in spirituality. I won't try to teach you that, but I'll try to give my perspective on it. Again, having said that, I learned this from the ashram. It's very simple. Let's, if you can divide this whole screen into three sections, right? Like this. The section here is the past. I know it might be coming off weird on the video, but past, this is the present, and this is the future. Now the past is like always behind you, right? Like we don't have access to it. Future, we don't have access to it. I mean, we literally don't have access to any of this. So the only thing that we have access to is this moment, like now and now and now. So the moment is passing, right? Like it's passing right in front of me or you. It's happening. Like if I keep a hand like this, nothing can change it in this moment if I don't want, right? Then I do this in this moment. It only happened because I did it. So at every moment, if I'm in control of how I want things to be in myself, again, not talking about the outside world, inside myself, if I can control how I want myself to be, I think no matter what position you are in or whatever state you are in, it's of your choosing and your action. I think that's happiness. I think you would choose that, right? I mean, if you are able to control yourself, you would choose to be in a happy position, in a good state of way. So that's what getting to know yourself and getting to be able to control yourself enables us to. That's where the foundation of happiness comes from. I hope this was helpful. Thank you so much for listening.